Yo guys, Josh Spurs 123 here for another video, and it is another football video, but it's not a vlog. They're all done now. No more Amazon or Tottenham or Watford. It's all done now. But obviously there is the Euros coming up in a few weeks. But I am now ready to do my Tottenham season review, player rankings, Spurs keep or sell. I'm going to do a lot of stuff into one video. So yeah, that's the intro basically. I'm just going to be ranking Spurs team and the Spurs players and whether we should keep them or sell them and everything. So let's get straight into it. So Tottenham Hotspur, where do we start? Last season, we had Conte and then he got sacked and we had Mason and Stellini in charge for a bit. It all went a bit wrong. It got a bit toxic. We came 8th. That's the first time we finished with Europe in a few years now. So yeah, it was a really, really bad season. It's gone wrong the last couple of years, and that was a really bad ending to the season. And then obviously this season we have the Aussie big Ange Postecoglou in charge of us, and you know what? I think he's done well. He's taken us further forward, and we have now finished 5th place, and we qualify for Europa League. Now, let's talk about the negatives. Of course, it's still another year without a trophy, and we so easily could have got 4th place. We easily could have got 4th. We could have finished above Villa. We could have got Champions League, but no, we finished 5th. We get Europa League. We didn't end the season amazingly, and we got smashed by a few teams, and then no trophy yet again. So that's the only negatives I think from this season. But let's just be a bit realistic here. It's a brand new takeover. We came 8th last year. So for us to finish 5th this year, 3 spaces higher, when the competition only gets harder every year, I'm quite happy with us finishing 5th. And, yes, we could have got Champions League, but I don't think we would have been ready for it. I don't think we would have won it anyway. I'm more than happy with us finishing 5th, getting Europa League. That is a big boost compared to last season. And we've really played we were top of the league for a while, weren't we? We've been playing some really good attacking football, and brings us a more high press positivity when we're playing football, and we score a lot more goals now. We play more exciting football, but then we do concede more, so we've got to work on the defending part of it. But I'm really happy with the play style, the way we finished 5th place in the season, and it looks like we're making a few decent signings as well. So I'm pretty positive with Ange in charge of our team and finishing 5th. And next season we could do well in the Europa League. We could do well in the league, get top 4. We could win a cup. That's the aim next year. But look, the last thing I say on the season review is patience. We have to be a little bit patient, because it might not look positive now, but it's better than it was last year. And in time, next year or the year after that, it could take a few years. In time, I reckon if we back Ange, we could do well with him. I'm not saying it's going to work, but I'm saying it could work. There's a chance. Let's just be patient. Let's just see how this season goes. If we go backwards, then maybe it's not going to work with Ange. But let's give him next season, see what happens. And I reckon we could do really well with Ange, with Spurs, and we could have a bit of success. So all in all, based on how it was last season compared to this season, if I rated this season out of 10, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for this season. I'm pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with how solid the season ended. Yeah, good end to the season, 7 out of 10. Yeah, much better season compared to last year. That's all I have to say about the Spurs team in general. And now let's get into ranking the players. I'm talking about a lot of players. I'm going to be doing whether we should keep, sell or loan them, and I'm also going to rank them out of 10. So it could take a long time. So I'm not going to talk about each player for very long. So if you want my opinions on one particular player, always leave me a comment and I can reply to that and talk longer about the certain player. But right now I'm going to try and just skip past the players as quick as I can, because we don't want to be here all day. So let's get into it. All right, we are going to get into the player ratings now. Look, some of the ratings, there's not going to be the biggest scores ever, because we've not been perfect this season, have we? And there's not going to be scores too low, because I don't want to be too harsh. But look, enough rambling, let's just get into it. So with I've got a little paper here to remind me, because it's hard to keep track of all the numbers. But goalkeepers, Vicario. Every keeper's going to make the odd mistake every now and then. There's some goals you could have prevented. That's why it's not a perfect score, but he's also been fantastic. What a signing. So many saves. Nothing else to say. He's a keeper to stay. So I'm going to do an 8 rating for Vicario, and he's a keep for me. Then we got Fraser Forster in goal. He is a sell for me. He's not played any minutes. Last season he made a few decent saves, but he's just not been playing any minutes. He's 35 or so now. We can get another backup goalkeeper. Let's just sell Forster. And I can't rank him because he's not played. And then with Austin, third choice goalkeeper, he's not played, so I cannot rank him either. But I wouldn't sell him. I'd maybe loan him because maybe he can, he's still young, he can grow to be better. So I would loan Austin. So we need to maybe sign a goalkeeper or two for sure. Defenders, Mickey van der Ven, another one of the best signings we've made in a long time. He's still young, so fast. He wins every ball. One of our best players this season. Van der Ven is awesome, and he can still improve. We've conceded goals this season, of course, but for what we've seen of him, he's pretty awesome. One of our best players. So he's going to get 8.5 for me, and obviously he's a keep. Christian Romero, now he's not as good as Van der Ven, but he's still pretty awesome. He's been a great signing as well. He can lash out, get red cards, but that was only the start of the season. He's been pretty consistent since coming back from the red cards and an injury he had. He's been solid, Romero. So is he as good as Van der Ven? No, but he's still getting a decent rating for me. 8 out of 10 for him, and he's a keep. Pedro Porro, he's been... I'm not going to give much away, but he's been literally one of my favourite players, definitely top 3. I love Pedro Porro. I just think he didn't defend as well last season, but this season he's defending better, and he gets lots of goals and assists as well for a fullback. I love him. He's insane. I love Pedro Porro. Still youngish as well. He's one of the highest ratings as well as Van der Ven, and he's going to get 8.5, and he's definitely a keep. Radu Dragusin. Now, he's not got a lot of minutes. You can only just about give him a rating. But you know what? For a backup centre-back / left-back, he's been all right. He's not made many mistakes. When he's been playing off the bench or when he started a couple games for us, he's looked pretty solid. So it's hard to rate him too high, but he's been reasonable enough. So we'll give him a 6.5 out of 10, and that's respectable. And he's definitely going to be a keep for me. Ben Davis. Good servant for the club legend if you like, but he's not for me anymore. He does the job when he comes on, but he's going to get, run past, he's slow, he's going to make mistakes, he's not for me, Ben Davis. Good utility player for me, but he really isn't good enough for me. I won't be too harsh though, we'll give him a 5.5 out of 10, Ben Davis. I would actually keep him though, because he's a good utility player, but I don't really want to see him play all the time. So 5.5 out of 10. Destiny Udogie, another great new signing, and he's young, he can grow. Obviously, he's not the best defender we've got for sure, but he doesn't make too many mistakes. He's so fast, he gets forward and gets goals as well and assists. And he's got more room to grow, so Udogie definitely for me a keep, and I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. Emerson Royale, he's been with us for a few years now, had a few good performances here and there, but he's just not good for me. We need to buy a backup right back, and I think I want to sell Emerson Royale. He's just no good for me. Makes too many mistakes, he's too slow, can't attack. I give him a 4 out of 10, and I would sell him. And then we've got Sessegnon. Now, I'm still talking about him because he's still in our squad. He's just injured too much though, and I can't give him a rating because he's not played. He's injured too much, but yeah, I feel for him. He's got some talent there, but not at our club, so I would sell him. Time for the midfielders, which will not include like the left or right wingers. They're going to go as attackers, so it's just the central midfielders for this one. And we'll start with Oliver Skipp. Now, he's similar to Davis. He's a good utility player. He's been with us for a while. He's homegrown. He has good performances every now and again, but he just hasn't got it for me. He's just not good enough footballer. He did a job for us at left back. He can play midfield. He's okay, but he's just not good enough player for me. So 5.5 really for me with Skipp, and I would sell him honestly. Some people do like him though, but I'm going to sell Skipp. Højbjerg, Again, he's been good for us for a few years. He's got a good strike on him, but he doesn't seem to win the ball that much these days. He doesn't play for. He's not a starter these days either. He's just not. Again, he's just not good enough. We can improve on him. We can get some money for him as well. So I would sell him, and he's only going to get a 6 out of 10 for me. Pepe Matasar, 7.5 out of 10 for me for him. And this score could get higher in future years. Like, he's still young. He's just so good box-to-box midfielder. He can score goals. He can defend. His dribbling and skill is insane. He's a great player. And he's quite pacey for a midfielder as well. Definitely keep him for the next, several years, hopefully. 7.5 out of 10, and definitely a keep for me. Bissouma, now. He's not been one of our best midfielders this year. He's not, lived up to the signing, yet, because we signed him only a couple of years ago. He's not lived up for the hype yet. But I actually think he's got techers. He's very good dribbling skill. He's very good at tackling. He's just not been the best this season. But he's had games where he's looked all right. I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10, I think. But I would keep him because maybe he could get back to his best. James Maddison. I love Maddison. What a great signing we made. He's been injured a bit, though, this season. Since the injury, he's not looked as good. That's why his score can't be ridiculously high. But he's got a few goals, he's got a few assists, and I think those goals and assists could double next season. I rate him highly. I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10, and he needs to be a keep. Bentancur, again, had a bad injury for like a year. He's just come back towards the halfway point of this season, and he was good. Like, he's not been as good since his injury. We have to. It's ACL, so it's hard to get better from that sort of injury. But look, he's put a shift in. He's been okay. He doesn't score or assist a lot, but he's got very good passing ability. He can do a lot in that midfield. So I certainly would keep him, but I can't rank him ridiculously high. 7 out of 10 for Bentancur. Yeah, Giovanni Lo Celso now, and he's not been the best signing for us. He was supposed to be the Eriksen replacement, but he's been good this season. He's got a few goals, a few assists, one screamer against Man City as well. He's got a bit of techers, but he gets injured too much as well. I wouldn't mind him being sold, but I'm going to decide to give him a 6 out of 10, and I'm going to put him as a keep, because I reckon he could give us some threat. If Maddison's injured, he could be a good backup off the bench, so I'll keep Lo Celso. Now we are on to the final section of this, and that is the attackers. So, Brennan Johnson, you know what? He needs to improve his shooting, but he's been a decent signing for me as well, and he can get better. He's still very young. So, shooting needs to improve, but he's got about 6 goals in the end, 6-7 goals. He got about 8 assists as well. He's goal contributions, plus 15 goal contributions. That's pretty decent for the Premier League. So, he'll get a 7 out of 10 for me, but yeah, hopefully he gets more clinical next year. Brian Gill, 2 out of 10, sell. He's awful. He just cannot compete at this. He can compete at other levels, but he can't compete at the Premier League. He's too weak and injury prone, and he just doesn't. He's barely ever scored for us. Has he actually ever scored for us? I don't think so. He's just no good for me. Sell him. Son Heung-min, our club legend. It's a shame he hasn't won anything with us yet, but he still could. Son, it's definitely not been like his best season. He's slowing down. He's 32 almost, so he is slowing down now. But look, we love Son. To still score 17 goals and 9 assists, that is an insane goal contribution in the Premier League. So, yes, he doesn't look as good as he used to be, but he's still scoring goals for fun, and I think he still will for another 1 or 2 years. So I'm still going to rate him fairly high. I'll give him an 8 out of 10, and we definitely need to keep him. Richarlison, he won me the bet I had with a friend at the pub, and he needed to score 10 Premier League goals for me, and he scored 11. So now I'm going to corporate Spurs, which is like VIP seats to Spurs. So thank you, Richie, for that. And yeah, he's definitely not the best striker we could get. We could definitely sign a better striker. I hope we do sign someone actually to compete with him. But 11 Premier League goals. It is very hard to score double figures in the Premier League. I don't care who you are, it's hard to do. So he's going to get a decent score for me, but we could sign a better striker. I'll give him a 7.5, and we could get good money from Saudi for Richarlison, but I would keep Richarlison if we can to compete with another striker. Solomon cannot give him a ranking. He's played like 1 or 2 games for us, but he did get 2 assists against Burnley before he got injured. He looks good. He's got a good curling shot on him. He's already proven that he can get assists. He's got a bit of pace, good skill. I like him. I like Solomon. Can't give him a ranking. He's barely played, but I would keep him. I would not get rid of him. I would keep him. If he gets another year where he's injured, then you've got to sell him. But I'll see if he recovers from the injury. I'll keep him for 1 more season. Give him a go. Why not? Kulusevski. Now, I was very close to actually wanting to sell him. He's not my favourite player. He's far too slow on the wing for me. Hasn't got a weak foot. And he's had a few seasons to prove it, and he's not been good enough. But his numbers say otherwise, which is why he does have to get a decent rating. And I'm going to actually decide to keep Kulu because he's scored 8 Premier League goals. He's got similar numbers of assists as well. He's just been very good in terms of contributions. Like, he's not the best player, but he's got lots of goal contributions. His best numbers for Spurs, actually, in the 3 years he's been with us. So I'd give him a fair 7 out of 10, and I would keep him. But if he doesn't improve next season, then I want him to go. Timo Werner. He was on loan. We've signed him permanently now. Well, pretty much we have anyway. But I can still choose if I want him to go. You know, this is the game I'm playing. And I would actually keep him. I'm glad we've re-signed him. He doesn't have the best finishing. We all know that. But he changes the game when he comes off the bench. I want him to come off the bench, I think. Not start, come off the bench. He's got great pace. He's got a few assists. And he's got about 2 or 3 goals as well in the short time he was with us. So I'd keep Werner. I like him. I'd give him a 6.5 out of 10. And to finish off, Dane Scarlett, he's actually been at our club for like half the season after a loan spell, and he's not played, so I can't really rank him. But he's come on for the last few minutes of a few games, and I think he's got something about him. Can't rate him, but I'd definitely give him a keep. I want us to keep him because he's still young. He could grow. He could be Harry Kane replacement. You never know. Big statement, but you never know. Let's give him minutes and see what he can do. I love how I said I wasn't going to talk too much, but when you're talking about lots of different players, you end up rambling. That's how it works, you know. But look, it could have been longer anyway. So, yeah, I've spoken about all the players. Now let me know what you think about the ratings. Before we end this video, I'm going to do a few end-of-season awards, and then the video will be done. Also, quickly, there's a few loan players that we got that I want to talk about quickly, but it's going to be quick fire because we know we haven't got time. Can't rank them, but I'm going to give them a keep or sell or a loan. And Ndombele, terrible. He needs to be sold. Phillips, the centre-back, I would actually give him some game time. I'd keep him. Valise, the striker, I would give him a loan move. Rodon, I would sell. Tanganga, sell. Reguilon, sell, not good enough. Spence, maybe loan. Maybe Spence could grow to be something good. So loan Spence. Parrott, I would sell, and Carter Vickers I'd sell as well. Don't think we've got any other loan players than that. So yeah, that's that about the loans done. All right, it's the next day now, and this is a different t-shirt. I've got like a lot of the same black Adidas t-shirts that I wear at different days, and obviously I'm wearing my glasses now, so yeah, I look a bit different. But let's just finish off this video now. I've spoken about the Spurs season. I've spoken about the players and the ratings and the keep or sell. Just going to quickly do my player of the seasons. Third best player is Son. Awesome, all the goals he has scored. He's been fantastic. He is slowing down though. There's more players that I've liked than Son, but Son's definitely got that third spot for me. He's been brilliant. Second place is Van de Ven, 22 years old, debut season for Spurs, and he's defended unbelievably. Even though we've conceded a lot of goals, he has saved us in so many occasions. I love him, so he's second. And in first, we've got Pedro Porro. People won't agree. I might be wrong. There's probably better players than Porro in the Spurs team, but it's just my opinion. I just like him a lot. He has defended so much better this season compared to last season. He scores goals and gets assists, quite a lot of them as well. For a defender, it's awesome. I love Porro, and he's still young. He can get better. I just like him. He's my favourite player this season. Pedro Porro in first place for sure. And just like they do in real life, I might as well do like a young player of the season as well. Third place, Udogie, also signed him this season, and he can make the odd mistake every now and again, but it's very rare he does. He is a good defender. He goes forward as well. He's a great young fullback, so he's third. Second place is Pape Matar. He is also, it's only his second season for us, I think. He's got the full package in midfield. He's fantastic, and he's still 21. He's got room to grow. So Sar's getting my second place. And my first place, as you'd guess, is the second place of the main player of the season award. But in this award, he gets first place. Mickey van der Ven, young player of the season for me. Still 22 years old, a fantastic, pacey centre-back. He rarely makes mistakes. One bad game against Newcastle. Apart from that, he was fantastic this season. Such a great defender. Mickey van der Ven gets first spot for me for the young player of the year. That's everything really to talk about. But before we end this video, let's quickly talk about Ange Postecoglou, our manager, his first season in charge, and then we'll give him a rating. He has, as I said, there are some games that he's not managed well, and we've lost 4-0, conceded too many goals. He does need to work on a few more signings. He does need to work on us defensively a bit, but that's the negatives done. The positives about him is that the style of football he's giving us is fantastic. It's exciting to watch Spurs now. He's making us press high up. We're scoring a lot more goals. He's just a clever manager. He's already made good signings. He'll hopefully continue to make good signings for us. He is only going to hopefully get better with Spurs. I rate him quite highly, and I love how just real and down to earth he is in the interviews. He's a great manager. You can't rate him ridiculously high. But look, from 8th place to 5th place, and we're playing more exciting football, and things could get better for us. So I'm going to give him a solid 7 out of 10 for Ange Postecoglou. So that is everything. I've rated the manager, the players. I've reviewed Spurs' season. So yeah, as I said, I'm pretty much happy with the season all in all. A lot of work to do, but we've definitely improved compared to last year, and hopefully next year is even better. So that is the end of this video. I'm going to hopefully have a Euros 2024 video coming out soon. Also a Blackpool holiday vlog. There's also going to be, hopefully, I'm going to do a video, a montage of all the Spurs goals, maybe the Watford goals as well. But we'll have to see if I have time for those. More videos coming, and of course live reactions for the England games as well, coming up in the Euros. And apart from that, before we know it, the season will start again in August. So thank you everyone for watching. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.